Alright, what's up? This is going to be basically like kind of a... I already showcased some PvE before, but that was pre-rework, or before it came to live. This is going to be sort of a more updated version, but it's more or less the same. I wish I had some to show my add-ons, but I'll just go over the main skills real quick. Tendon cutter. In most to Doom spots, you can't stiff mobs, so this is pretty much what I use to pull mobs. I don't really jump throw kunai all that much. Almost never, really. Next is going to be Moonlight, our tier 3 add-on. You don't get this every pack, unfortunately, because you kill the mobs so quickly. Maybe if you're grinding at a tankier spot, then you might, but it feels like you don't get this every pack. Maybe like every other pack even then. But yeah, I'm running just crit rate and monster damage on it. You could run DP down, but I don't think I have that on other areas like Tendon Cutter here. And I don't think that 5 DP is gonna really make a big difference here. I also have DP down and monster damage on Flash. Basically the idea, pull the mobs with Tendon Cutter, Flash while they're grouping up on you. Make sure, you know, they all have DP down on them. And then Shadow Explosion. I have accuracy up, evasion down. You could probably run something else on this, but if you're like running Bloody Monastery, you're definitely gonna want some sort of accuracy, evasion sort of thing going on. I don't think my add-ons are 100% optimal at the moment, but the general idea is pull, buff, 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 while they're grouping. And then, you know, one of these to get the last two before stomp, and then Wheel of Wrath in the back. I'm also not really sure about this crit hit damage or back attack. But the 4 things you want, attack speed, DP down, monster damage, and crit rate. Crit rate's not that important on Kuno anymore. I'm pretty sure like all your higher damaging skills have 100% crit rate, you know. Tendon, Explosion, Flash. The only thing that doesn't is like Stomp. But Fox hits pretty hard, especially if you have like good crit rate. And it'll increase your damage on Stomp by like noticeably. This already has 100%, this has 100%, this has 100%. So yeah, you might be able to swap out crit rate. I just wanted something that didn't require me to hit all the mobs with it, because yeah. So I'll do a little showcase of what I'm doing. Actually, the reason I'm here at Fogans is I think Fogans. Wait, is this Fogans? This is Fogans, right? I get them mixed up, Fogans and Nagas. Fogans is kind of an underrated spot. You're not gonna make like, you know, Bloody Monastery or Orc levels of money unless you're at Bloody Monastery or Orcs. But these mobs are squishier than the Baragi Den mobs. They just hit harder. So you kind of have to be careful, especially if you're around my gear, because they can kill you. But I can grind here as a Succ Kuno without pots, which kind of says a lot. Which brings me to my Wheel of Wrath add-ons, which is just HP recovery and SP recovery. Basically, this will keep you healthy. This and this. Because you're going to pull the mobs with Tendon. You're probably going to Fox Claw when you get there. Maybe Flash. Maybe Explosion. You don't need Explosion to get the Rune. The only... because fucking Tendon Cutter gives you the same Rune. So you only have to do Clone or Fox. Both of these will also help keep you healthy because they have HP recovery. But yeah, so this is a spot I've been grinding somewhat recently. Hold on, let me just check to see. Oh, hey. Maybe I can do a pen attempt at the end of this video. You can watch me fail my 60th pen attempt on my begs. That sounds like a good plan. But yeah, this is a pretty decent spot, and it's very, very uncontested. I've been able to get spots here, like, even on Arsha easily. I'm not on Arsha right now because I'm trying to do a video. But yeah, generally, very uncontested, decent money. You're not going to compete with, like, the high-end spots, but they're really, really squishy. So if you're, like, 269 Kudum. You could probably grind here. You might want a little more DP if you're... Honestly, I think you should try and get more DP, regardless of your class. But I'm stupid. Yeah. Anyway, so looks kind of like this. Tendon through mobs, flash slash while they're just grouping up, maybe explosion if I'm feeling it. Just kind of finish with hard aiming fatal blow. Don't worry about like the mobs that have like 2-3 HP. It's just not worth the time. So the main problem with Kuno is more or less the same. Your AoE sizes aren't big on most of your skills. You have a couple that have like large AoEs like Flash and Tendon. So you still have to kind of sit there and like wait for them to pull. Also, you can see my health like go up and down really, really crazy, which is why I'm telling you to, don't be dumb like me. Probably get a little more DP unless you're a tankier class. But as you can see, these mobs are incredibly squishy. I don't have a black star. It's just a Kudum. I'm killing them before my Tendon comes off cooldown, which is 9 seconds. Go ahead and pop this, because why not? Even the elite mob there just kind of fell over. Now, your pulling will change depending on the spot you're at. So, like, if you are grinding Star's End, you can't Tendon through the mobs to pull. I mean, you can, but you're going to stiff them, and it's going to take a while. So, I'll do a few, like, kunai throw pulls, So, if you're trying to pull mobs, you're going to do that. You're going to come over here. Get your, pre-buffs up. The thing you really just want to keep track of is this thing right here. This is easiest to basically keep track of the rune buffs. Most of your damage is in 2 skills. Shadow Explosion, which is 14 times 10, or 14, 10 times 2 times 8, which is essentially 14, 10 times 16, which is a fuck ton of damage with 100% crit rate, 15% accuracy. It's very, very, very strong. Then your next highest damaging skill is going to be Wheel of Wrath, which it's like a freight train, honestly. You want to try and get back attack on this every time. Every time. That only just, gives you more damage. You see a lot of people will just sit there and hit the mobs in the face. They won't even try to go for back attacks, and they'll ask themselves, why am I not grinding as much as this? Like, why am I not making as much money as this guy? We're doing the same thing. You try and get back attacks, especially on like Ninja Kuno, where it's so easy because you have like this ghost step, there's no reason why you shouldn't. So you want to Tendon through the mobs to pull, right? Then you want to get your buffs up. And then Clone or Fox, either works. They give the same buff. Clone is maybe a little bit easier to use because it cancels into Shadow Stomp. But you got to remember that the block lock will fuck you over sometimes. So it kind of just depends. And then you want to stomp through them and immediately turn around and get back attack with the Wheel of Wrath. Because that's where, like, all your damage is. I haven't grinded this, like, these mobs do CC, but it's pretty rare that I get CC'd. Now that we actually have, like, reasonable protected skills, it doesn't happen all that often, and it's, like, only stiffs. So... So yeah, that's pretty much it. The 4 things you want in terms of add-ons are going to be, DP down, attack speed, crit rate, and monster damage. Then accuracy evasion if you're grinding a place like Bloody Monastery. Anything else is kind of just added, and it depends on what you use. So like right now I don't have anything on Shadow Clone or Fox because by the time I get to use them, I have most of the buffs I need. If you find yourself using like Fox Claw like pretty much every time over Shadow Clone, which you might, Shadow Clone is better if they're like surrounding you because it's an AoE around the Kuno, which you can't see because the animation's still kind of fucked up. Where Fox Claw is like all in front. Yeah. Let me just say this. I probably should have said this before. Maybe I didn't. I just forgot. I'm not a good grinder. I'm by no means a like top tier grinder. There'll eventually probably be some really good like Korean Kuno out there who's just like out of his mind good at grinding. Every pull is like mathematically. What the hell did I just get? Oh, cool. Honestly, a waste of money. That's the bad thing about this spot is like the neck is like pretty much worthless, so you don't ever want to use these. You kind of just want to sell them. Yeah, because the lunar neck is like 250 mil and this thing's worthless, like 16 mil. So, but you get really good raw silver here. It's just not you're not gonna get like that disto rush, you know. So that's basically the idea. Again, this changes depending on what CCs can apply to the mobs. I haven't grinded bloody or orcs. I don't have that kind of gear. I just don't. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm burping. Yeah. So I'll say it again just one more time before we go do this pen. You want your 4 main buffs via your add-ons. If you're grinding a place where mobs can't be stiff, you're probably going to want to replace Tendon Cutter with something else. Something on a relatively short cooldown. You could probably do Shadow Explosion. I'm running something on Shadow Explosion right now, but is more for testing purposes, and I don't think you need accuracy or evasion down for fucking Fogans. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much everything. Maybe I'll do like recording myself grinding for like to show up the trash or whatever, but I don't know. That sounds like a annoying 30 minutes to spend. But I grind anyway, so I might as well. The most I think I did when I was like getting sweaty, I went to underwater. It was 6.150. I don't know why I said point. That doesn't make any sense. 6,150. Trash an hour on a blue scroll. I've never grinded there on Succ Kuno before, and I've never done that rotation before at all. So I know I could do better. And that's with this gear. It was a 30-minute test, which I think is reasonable, but I know some people don't like that for whatever reason. But yeah, just in case you are interested. You're not going to be, well, how do I say this? If Succ Lan is still like the S tier grinder, Kuno I think is going to be an A+ grinder. It's not quite the best of the best, but still really strong. So yeah, if you've ever wanted to potentially play Kuno, but you didn't like it because the grind was terrible, well, that's very different now. It's not a chill grind though. You use a lot of skills. It's very quick. It's very it's not, I don't want to say high APM, but it's if you know if you're used to grinding like Succ Lan, it's gonna feel like you're a crackhead, basically. So yeah. This is my 60th pen attempt in a row. Not these gloves. These gloves, I've done like 50 total on these gloves, but my 60th attempt since my last pen. If this fails, probably about half of them have been at this stack or close to it. Yeah. Huh? Wait, where are my cron stones? I'm missing 6? Okay. I did do a pen attempt earlier today, so that's probably where they went. I thought I had a little more than that, though. This feels wrong, but whatever. Yeah, honestly, I know, I know that people like, you just buy it, just buy it, just buy. I know, but I want my name on it. All my pens have my name on it, and I probably will if this doesn't go. Please, please, please. You fucked me over for months. Please. Why am I not surprised? This game. Yeah, it's just how it goes, honestly. So that's 60 attempts now on these gloves. Sag. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Um, like I said, I may do a like a 30-minute grind video just to give people an idea um of how Kuno grinds, because sometimes, skills aren't off cooldown yet and you need to know what skills to use. Here's a few things you can remember. Tendon and Shadow Clone, or Shadow Explosion. Shadow Explosion, Tendon Cutter. They give the exact same buff. Shadow Clone and Fox Claw give the exact same buff. Stomp, Smoke Screen, and Block Jump all give the exact same buff. You don't really need to worry about this. Is a 6-second cooldown, so you should have this up every pack. But if you're grinding in a tankier spot where tankier mobs are, you're probably going to pull the same way that I just showed, except after you get your 3 runes, so you pull, you do your pre-buffs and whatever. I didn't mean to shout explosion there. Then you do this, and then you Wheel of Wrath. Then you do something like this. Then you'd save Shadow Explosion for that. Smoke Screen behind them and Wheel of Wrath again at the back. If they're not dead by that, you are not supposed to be grinding there, honestly. Like, hands down. So yeah. I suggest putting this little thing here somewhere nearby so you can keep an eye out while grinding. You can also just look at your buff bar if you don't like this thing. Yeah. Sorry, I'm chewing on a piece of boba here. Anyway, that's the video. Have some comments for my fucking stupid ass bags that won't ever go pen ever for any reason. Fuck these things. They're literally the worst. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want. It's not mandatory. You can still watch the videos whether you do or not, but it makes me feel nice to see that number go up. And after all these pen attempt fails, I could use it. So yeah. Have a good day. Merry after Christmas. Yeah. Happy New Year soon, I guess. Peace.